Hello students, so this video is for 7th standard, chapter 10th, that is your respiration in organisms for science, and we'll try to cover as much as we can in this video itself. So starting on this chapter, first of all, belongs to your biology section, right? So that it should not be a query whether in which your notebook it should be done. So it has to be done in bio notebook. So starting on in 6th standard when we were in there, right there. So we had studied certain things like there are certain set of properties which basically distinguishes or characterizes that a particular organism or particular thing, basically what we call it, it belongs to a category of living or non-living, right? There we studied like breathing, respiration, excretion, digestion, and all those were certain things. So this is again one of the characteristic property of living beings, which distinguish itself like it's itself from the section of non-living things, right? So first of all, what we need to understand what is the meaning of respiration. So as far as respiration is concerned, people have a misconception. Even till now, what you will be thinking is like breathing in oxygen and giving out carbon dioxide. You would have a rough idea. That is not respiration. So respiration is a complex process which involves the extraction of energy from the food that we have taken with the help of oxygen that we are taking in our body. So if someone asks you what is respiration, it is a complex process which helps in the extraction of energy from the food that we had digested with the help of oxygen, right? And this is a process which which occurs in basically in each and every cells of our body, right? Because as far as our body is concerned, we are living at an organ system level of organization we are having, right? So each organ needs to have certain sort of energy for carrying out different type of activities. So we can say, right, that every organ of our body needs to have some sort of energy, and that energy is being obtained with the help of respiration. So moving on, basically if we are discussing about respiration, there are two parts. Like respiration itself is divided into two categories. uh, first part is like whether as a organism, if I'm considering myself, like basically we are studying for humans only, like how we are able to exchange the gases from the surrounding, right? So first we'll deal with like how the gases are being coming inside our body and then going outside our body, right? So first step is your breathing, right? The common step that we have, right? And breathing is like simple, like when we are taking in the air which is rich in oxygen, right, and giving out carbon dioxide with every inhale and exhale that we would have studied about ourselves, right? कि हम लोग कैसे ऑक्सीजन अपनी बॉडी में अंदर ले रहे होते हैं, right? तो बेसिकली हम जब एयर लेते हैं तो we consume the air which is rich in oxygen, and when we are giving out the air from our body, right, basically that will be rich in carbon dioxide. So this is called as breathing, the exchange of gases, right? And it is also called as external respiration. The reason for calling it as external respiration is simple, because it occurs outside the cells of our body. Means it is happening within our body but outside the cells, right? It is merely a exchange, or we can say a physical process, right? That gas is coming into our body and it's going outside. So it's only a physical process. Now second part is called as a cellular respiration, or it is also called as internal respiration. And in this process what is happening is like that oxygen that we had taken, that air which we had taken which was rich in oxygen, how it is going to each and every cells of our body, that we'll study later ki, like from lungs how it is getting transported to each and every part of our body. But when it is reaching over there, then how that oxygen is being utilized for the production of energy, right? That is called cellular respiration, right? The process in which the oxygen is being used for, you can say, burning or the oxidation or the chemical reaction which is able to release the energy from the food that we had eaten, right, is called as respiration. And it is also called as cellular respiration or internal respiration. Reason being simple, because it is occurring inside the cells of our body. So right, we have a reaction that is given in our book, right, basically. And the reaction is simple, right? It's like the glucose molecule, like the digested food particle, if I'm talking about, right, when they'll be giving energy. We had studied, right, carbohydrate and fats are the sources of energy. So here a form of carbohydrate they have given, like a glucose molecule. When it is reacting with oxygen, it is giving out you carbon dioxide, oxygen, and energy. Remember that, right? Okay. Okay, now comes like to going in more depth about respiration in human beings. So basically we know that we have a certain set of organs which are specifically devoted for the purpose of respiration, right? That's why we say, right, organ system. एक होता है आपका cellular level, unicellular level of organism, then we go for multicellular, then we go for tissue level organisms, then we go for organ, then high last level, that is the highest complexity level, that is called as your organ system level of organization, right? There, like we have studied in digestion also, there are again certain set of organs which are working for the purpose of digestion. Similarly, for respiration purpose also, we have certain set of organs which are carrying out their own purpose, and ultimately they have a common objective, that is the carrying out respiration. So the organs are something like, it starts from your nostrils, nasal cavity, then it will go down to pharynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, and lungs. So we'll study in detail about each and every system. So all these organs, whatever name I have taken, they are sounds to be a little bit of complex when you're hearing for it for the first time, but once you get hands on, then you'll be more fluent with them actually. So these set of organs, like it starts from nasal cavity, pharynx, trachea, bronchi, bronchioles, alveoli, lungs, all together are called as respiratory system in human beings, right? So whenever I tell my students, it's like never get confused about, like, almost all the physiology of humans, like it's almost goes on similarly. Like as we have studied digestion, we have certain set of organs which were constituting together to be called as digestive system of humans. Like it started from mouth, esophagus or food pipe, right? Stomach, small intestine, large intestine. Then several glands were there, like your liver, pancreas, and all. So similar same concept goes here also. कुछ organs हैं आपके जो मिलके आपका respiration का काम कर रहे हैं, तो इस पूरी system of organs को मिला के हम लोग कहते हैं respiratory system in human beings. So as you can see the diagram, first thing that we have is your nasal cavity. So right, what is nasal cavity? You know that any hollow space is called as cavity, right? So in when we were studying about the digestion, we studied about the buccal cavity, right? Basically the entire portion where the food is being chewed. Okay, so above that there is one more cavity, right? So that is called as nasal cavity. And nasal cavity has an opening outside, which you can see are the nostrils, right? So first of all, when you inhale the air, right? So air goes from your nostrils to the nasal cavity. But when it is going through air, or you would have encountered when you would have looked in a mirror, if you try to open and see your nostrils, you can see it is always slimy, little bit of gilgila substance is present over there, and you can see long hairs inside your nose. So there is a reason for those being over there actually. Like these mucus and that what you call hairs helps in trapping the dust which might be going inside our body. So they act as a sort of filter. If some dust particles are going inside our body through nasal cavity, they'll filter out, they will hold them back, right? Then comes your nasal cavity. Then after the nasal cavity we have a pharynx. Pharynx is a portion, right? Then okay, let's move on, right? Okay, then pharynx is a region after the nasal cavity, right? After nasal cavity we have this region, basically the portion after the nasal cavity where it gets over is called as a pharynx. And then we have the trachea. Now important thing about trachea, because there might be several sort of MCQs that might be asked to you people from this actually. So it is trachea is a region where exactly somewhat nearby region where your food pipe and your also your trachea starts actually. So there are chances like that you have heard would have encountered in your life. कई बार ऐसा होता है कि आप लोग खाना खा रहे होते हैं, धसका लग जाता है, धसका लगता है, लगता है देन अचानक से। तो इसमें होता क्या है, लाइक वी हैव ए सिस्टम कि यार देयर आर टू पाइप्स व्हिच आर गोइंग, राइट? वन इज फूड पाइप व्हिच इज फॉर कैरिंग योर फूड, राइट? अदर वन इज योर trachea which is for carrying your air, right? Just imagine a case, what happens if food, instead of going inside your food pipe, if somehow it goes to your trachea, right? धसका लग जाता है अचानक से. So this trachea basically is guarded by is having an opening region. This entire trachea tube is having an entire opening portion that is called as trachea, that is called as, sorry, glottis, and it is having a flap-like option, right? That is called as epiglottis, right? So trachea is a pipe which runs down from pharynx to the lungs. It will go, we'll see further. So what happens is the topmost portion of the trachea is called as glottis, and it is having an opening that is called as epiglottis, and prevents like uh, passage of your anything that you eat or drink to might that which might go inside your trachea, right? Then after that we have a voice box that is not at your level right now. Okay, then what happens finally, this trachea will get divided into two tubes, like, cause you have two lungs, right? So the trachea needs to go to be like to go both the air needs to be distributed to both the lung side. So it is divided into two portions that are called as your bronchi single and a bronchus or bronchi. Like bronchus is for singular and bronchi is for plural, right? Then after that your bronchi will get divided into many number of bronchioles. There will be a network of tubes, like if you can see, it is not given in your book, right? There is a network of tubes that is called as bronchioles, and finally each bronchioles will be ending at a sac-like structure. Sac-like structure means basically what, there will be a sort of hollow balloon type structure, थैले ऐसे structure होते हैं आपके, right? And they are being surrounded alveoli. Okay, these alveoli are surrounded by, you can say, your capillaries. each alveoli is surrounded by your capillaries. अब होगा क्या, this is my alveoli, right? It is surrounded by capillaries. So there exactly the diffusion is taking place. Right, capillaries are nothing but a sort of vessels which are carrying blood in them, and they have very thin surface area, like very thick, very thin walls. So air actually get diffused. So if I'm telling about diffusion, what happens here is like oxygen will go from alveoli to the blood which is present in capillaries, and carbon dioxide will come outside from the blood which is present in capillaries to the alveoli, and that's how the carbon dioxide will come outside. Now, after that, we have lungs. Lungs are the main organs basically. Like if someone asks you where is the gases exchange exactly taking place, you can say lungs, but inside the lungs exactly it is the alveoli, right? Okay. So basically about lung, one important thing is like there is a portion that is not given again in your diagram, that has been given in your book, that is your diaphragm, right? And it is located below the lungs, right? And it is the one which separates your abdomen from your thoracic cavity. So if you can look at myself, right? This is your thoracic cavity, or you call it as chest cavity, right? And this is separated by your abdomen from abdomen with the help of this muscular organ that is called as diaphragm, right? And remaining we'll see the function of it in the later parts. Okay, now moving on to the next topic, that is your mechanism of breathing in human beings. Basically, when we are inhaling or exhaling, so when we are taking the gas, which is your basically air which is rich in oxygen, the damage is called as inhalation. सांस अंदर लेना is called as inhalation, and when you are giving outside the air which is rich in carbon dioxide, that time it is called as your exhalation. So what happens, like you would have felt it by yourself, when you just close your mouth and try to inhale the gas, that time you will feel that your ribs are coming outwards, and there will be an increase in the chest cavity of your like of your body, right? And what happens, your ribs will move outwards, your diaphragm will go downwards, and that entire, if the volume of the chest cavity has increased, and that's why the air rushes from outside to your body, like to inside the lungs, right? And what happens during the exhalation time when you are doing, right, is like when you are giving out the air, आप सांस छोड़ते हैं तो क्या होता है, आपकी रिब्स वापस से अंदर चली जाती हैं, राइट? आपका डायफ्रागम जो होगा वो कहाँ पे आ जाएगा, वापस से कहाँ पे आ जाएगा आपका, इट विल गो बैक टू द नॉर्मल स्टेट, वो अगेन ऊपर आ जाएगा आपका। इस टाइम पे हुआ कि आपकी चेस्ट कैविटी की वॉल्यूम डिक्रीज कर गई है। नाउ थिंक अबाउट दिस डायफ्रागम, इफ आई एम टेलिंग इट इज अ मस्कुलर ऑर्गन, एंड वी हैव सीन दैट if there is any sort of movement in muscles, it occurs in a pair actually. Like for example, your biceps, if I'm telling you, if you have biceps and triceps, like normally when biceps contracts, your triceps relax, and when your triceps contracts, your biceps relax. Similarly, when the diaphragm is like going downwards during the time of inhalation, that time there will be sort of contraction, सिकुड़ जाएगा आपका. And when it is coming upwards, right, during the time of exhalation, that time it will be relaxed. Now the important funda is like what is basically this is the mechanism of breathing, how the gas is coming inside and outside outwards, and how it is the movement of what is the movement of your ribs, your lungs, and your diaphragm. But one question that comes from here is your what is breathing rate. So breathing rate is nothing but it is a cycle. Basically, it is nothing but a cycle which repeats after 1 minute. Like, or you can say that was sorry, a little bit of complex. It's like number of times a healthy person breathes in a minute actually. So normally this is defined around from 15 to 20 minutes, 15 to 20 times occurs. Like if a normal healthy being is concerned, he'll have a breathing rate of 15 to 20 minutes. And now comes the technical part. What is breathing rate? It is like one inhalation plus one exhalation will give you one breathing rate. So if I'm telling the my breathing rate is around 15, my 15 breathing rate is around 15 per minute, that means during like in 1 minute I'm doing inhalation 15 times and I'm doing exhalation 15 times. It's like one inhalation one exhalation will give me one breathing rate, again one inhalation one exhalation will be my second breathing rate. So if someone is telling that his breathing rate is 20 per minute, that means 20 times he has inhaled the air and 20 times he has exhaled the air. Now, okay. This breathing rate is not constant, it is not constant. For example, if your mom is asking to go to terrace 2 3 times continuously, and after certain after one round only, like you'll be start be like having the sound. The reason is like breathing, and after that if you try to keep your like check your breathing rate, right, it will be increased, it will be around 20 to 30, 30 to 40. Like it's like a क्या हो रहा है breathing rate में, when you are doing some physical work you need to have more amount of energy, आपकी बॉडी को एनर्जी की डिमांड होगी, एंड उस एनर्जी के लिए आप क्या करेंगे, आप ज़्यादा ऑक्सीजन को लेंगे, सो दैट आपका जो बॉडी के सेल्स के अंदर है फूड वगैरह है वो ज़्यादा combust हो सके, एनर्जी प्रोड्यूस हो सके. So during some physical work, the breathing rate will be increased. Then after that, when we have composition of inhaled and exhaled air, that comes the next topic, right? Now, this is a very common thing that you might feel like when I'm telling that I'm consuming air, like that air is either it is possible that it is having only oxygen, and when I'm giving out the air that time, that is during the time of exhalation, क्या ऐसा होगा कि खाली उसके अंदर खाली आपकी बस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जाएगी? Right, practically not possible, because we know that atmospheric composition is there. Atmosphere की composition we have studied like last year कि कितना आपका होता है, 78-79% आपका नाइट्रोजन होता है, then oxygen होता है, then carbon dioxide होता है. So it's like all the gases are there. So but basically when I'm doing the inhalation wala part, so all these gases will go inside my body, including the water vapor, whatever is there. But होगा क्या, लाइक जब ये लंग्स के एल्वोलाई तक पहुंचेगा, वहां पे डिफ्यूजन खाली किसका होगा? ऑक्सीजन का होगा, right? Only oxygen will be coming going inside the capillaries, right? Remaining everything will come outside along with the exhalation. Similarly, the carbon dioxide which has diffused from the capillaries to the alveoli, that will be coming. So it's not like कि आपकी मतलब खाली आप ऑक्सीजन को इनहेल कर रहे हैं और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को छोड़ रहे हैं, सारी गैसेस को इनहेल कर रहे हैं आप. बट हो क्या रहा है, उस डिफ्यूजन खाली किसका हो रहा है? आपकी बॉडी के अंदर जा कौन सा रहा है? आपका खाली ऑक्सीजन, और आपकी बॉडी से बाहर एक्स्ट्रा क्या आ रहा है? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एक्स्ट्रा बाहर आ रहा है. नाउ देयर कम्स अ लाइन दैट the water vapor in inhaled air varies, but exhaled air it is saturated. Like very again very simple concept that we can understand. We know that composition of air is there. So in air, if I'm talking, definitely there is a percentage of water vapor which will present. Right, हर एरिया की अपनी अपनी अलग ह्यूमिडिटी होती है. So definitely you are breathing in the water vapor. But think about this. We have seen the reaction for respiration. Like we know that 6 molecules of water are being produced, and these molecules might be consumed in your body depending upon the requirement. But if already your body is having sufficient amount of water, then this water vapor needs to be come out, right? So definitely the it might vary, like if a person is living in a desert or a person uh, living in some coastal area, the amount of water vapor that they are intaking along with the air, it might vary. But the composition of water vapor, or the percentage of water vapor which will be coming out in the form of exhalation, will definitely will be there. Means enough quantity, that is for पक्का श्योर क्वांटिटी इज देयर कि आपकी गैसेज आपकी जो बाहर आ रही हैं उसमें वाटर वेपर का प्रेजेंस होना ही होना होगा आपका, राइट? अच्छा, and to make sure that water vapor is coming outside, you can do one more thing. uh, like when if you are standing in front of mirror and you just try to inhale or exhale with your mouth, you can see some vapors getting accumulated on the mirror, right? Then after that people write their names and all, right? That is very common. And one more thing, like आपने एक और चीज देखी होगी, like people when they are during the winter season, right? Cold weather time, when you are doing the exhale from your mouth, you can see fumes coming outside. बहुत धुआं धुआं से बाहर आता है. उसमें होता क्या है कि जब अगर आप ठंडे एरिया में रहें या गर्म एरिया में रहें, so the air which is entering your body will be of some different temperature compared to the temperature of your body. But once it goes inside your body, the temperature will become almost similar to your body. And now think of this, like my body का temperature, it remains around from 36 to 38 degrees Celsius. बट बाहर का टेम्परेचर अगर 10-15 डिग्री सेल्सियस है, एंड व्हेन आई एम व्हाट यू से एक्सेलिंग आउट द एयर, एकदम टेम्परेचर चेंज होगा. दैट्स व्हाई यू हैव दिस विजिबल दिस फ्यूम्स एंड ऑल, right? Now comes exchange of gases, right? Exchange of gases means what, right? Basically you know the difference, like हो कैसे रहा है आपका आपका nose, nasal, nostrils, sorry, nostrils to nasal cavity, nasal cavities is going to pharynx, pharynx से trachea, trachea से bronchi, bronchia के बाद bronchioles, then after that it goes to your alveoli, and after alveoli what happens is like your your alveoli gets like your diffusion occurs. And diffusion is nothing but the movement or the movement of particles from a region of higher concentration to a lower concentration. So basically diffusion occurs from alveoli to the capillaries of oxygen. Basically किसका डिफ्यूजन हो रहा है? खाली ऑक्सीजन का हो रहा है आपके एल्वेलाई से कैपिलरीज में. एंड डिफ्यूजन ऑफ कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड इज हैपनिंग फ्रॉम कैपिलरीज टू द एल्वेलाई, right? Okay, now comes the cellular respiration part. Okay, now basically one more some little bit of depth that they have given the topic, right? Basically when we are telling that oxygen is getting diffused from alveoli to the capillaries, so what happens is like इट्स नॉट लाइक कि ब्लड में आपका आपका ऑक्सीजन आ गया तो वो कैरी कर जाएंगे, राइट। अब आप लोगों ने कहीं बार सुना होगा कि जब किसी आपके परिवार में ब्लड टेस्ट हुई होगी, तो देर आर डिफरेंट टाइप ऑफ वर्ड्स दैट डॉक्टर विल बी यूजिंग ऑन दैट रिपोर्ट। उनमें से एक होगा वर्ड, कई बार आपने सुना होगा, हेमोग्लोबिन बोलते हैं। सो हेमोग्लोबिन इज नथिंग बट अ सॉर्ट ऑफ प्रोटीन विच इज प्रेजेंट इन द ब्लड, एंड मोर इन डेप्थ विल बी स्टडिंग इन द अपकमिंग चैप्टर, राइट। तो हेमोग्लोबिन इज नथिंग बट अ प्रोटीन। इसके अंदर बेसिकली आयरन होता है, और प्रोटीन का स्ट्रक्चर और भी रहता है, नाइट्रोजन की कंपाउंड, नाइट्रोजन का कंपाउंड है, उसके अंदर आपके आयरन आयरन भी रहता है, आपका प्रेजेंट रहता है, राइट। बेसिकली हेम इज फ्रॉम आयरन। सो करता क्या है, दिस हेमोग्लोबिन एक्ट एज अ कैरियर, राइट। आपने बोल दिया कि लंग्स तक आपका क्या कहते हैं, लंग्स से आपका ब्लड के अंदर आपका ऑक्सीजन आ चुका है, तो ऑक्सीजन आया है, तो उस ऑक्सीजन के लिए कैरियर का काम कौन करता है, आपका हेमोग्लोबिन काम करता है। तो हेमोग्लोबिन इज अ प्रोटीन विच इज प्रेजेंट इन द ब्लड, राइट। एंड दिस हेमोग्लोबिन कंबाइंस और मेक्स ऑक्सीजन टू सिट ऑन इटसेल्फ, राइट, अपने ऊपर बैठा लेगा, राइट। हेमोग्लोबिन अपने ऊपर ऑक्सीजन को बैठा लेगा, उसे लेके जाएगा, बॉडी के अंदर सर्कुलेट कराएगा, और जहां पे ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट होगी वहां पे ड्रॉप कर देगा, राइट। सो दिस व्हेन ऑक्सीजन सिट्स ऑन हेमोग्लोबिन, right, or this bonding between oxygen and hemoglobin is called as oxyhemoglobin. And right, it will go and it will be like transported to the different parts of the body. Wherever there is a requirement, this oxygen will fall off, simple as that. Right, and again it will become hemoglobin. But for carbon dioxide there is nothing like that. Only hemoglobin carries only oxygen. There is some in higher classes we'll be studying about carbon monoxide affinity, right. That is some again different concept. So but if someone is asking you how oxygen is being transported, like it is in the form of oxyhemoglobin. Basically hemoglobin carries the oxygen, and as far as this carbon dioxide, it occurs simply, it goes like the molecules of carbon dioxide will be circulated in your blood, right. Now comes the respiration, on the basis of technically how it is occurring. तो अभी तक हम लोगों ने ह्यूमंस के बारे में, रेस्पिरेशन के बारे में पढ़ा है, एंड हमको एक चीज़ पता लग गई कि भी ऑक्सीजन का रिक्वायरमेंट खाली ये होता है कि आप खाने के मॉलिक्यूल्स को ब्रेक डाउन कर सकें। But basically, on the requirement of oxygen, respiration can be of two types. Either it can be aerobic, the one which is occurring in the with the help of oxygen, or it can be anaerobic. Basically, what we have used in the presence of air or in the absence of air. How we say, like any respiration which is happening in the presence of air is called as aerobic respiration, and one with the which is being carried out in the absence of oxygen is called as anaerobic, right. So basically, on this is your in general we say, right. But technically speaking, the technical aspect for this will be, if something is if respiration is carried out in the presence of oxygen, it is called as aerobic. In the absence of oxygen, it is called as anaerobic respiration, right. Now comes one more part, right. अब aerobic respiration is very common that we have studied in this chapter कि भाई ऑक्सीजन आपका कंबाइन करेगा ग्लूकोज या शुगर के मॉलिक्यूल के साथ में, will give out carbon dioxide, water and your energy, right. So what happens in anaerobic respiration? Anaerobic respiration is basically you have encountered in your life. uh, आप लोगों ने ब्रेड मेकिंग प्रोसेस की बात करें, या फिर मेकिंग बेवरेजेस लाइक अल्कोहल एंड ऑल, राइट, जिसे हम लोग फर्मेंटेशन भी बोलते हैं, दैट इज नथिंग बट योर एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन। अब एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन में होता क्या है आपका कि राइट, there is no requirement of like oxygen for breaking down the molecule of sugar or glucose, right. It just gets splitted up itself into several constituents, like carbon dioxide बनेगा which is similar, right. Again आपका energy बनेगी, जो कि आपकी respiration है, तो आपकी energy बनेगी, but instead of water, alcohol, one more chemical is being formed, right. And this is basically anaerobic type of respiration is basically found in your bacteria and some yeast, right. The one which are where we are the one which we are using for making bread and in bakery and all, right, there it is being used. So two differences are there, basically in the presence of oxygen, in the absence of oxygen, okay. Now energy is released, but okay, here in anaerobic respiration energy is released, but the level of energy, or you can say the amount of energy, is वेरी वेरी लेस कंपेयर टू एरोबिक रेस्पिरेशन। तो हाँ भाई, एनर्जी बनी है, बट एनर्जी बहुत कम बन रही है आपकी, राइट। नाउ देयर कम्स वन मोर एक्सेप्शनल केस, दैट इज occurring of anaerobic respiration in human body, right. We know that normally in our body we need to, अपने को ऑक्सीजन मांगता है कि like for carrying out a respiration, but there is a case, special case, when there occurs anaerobic respiration in your body, and that actually happens in your the muscle cells of your body, right. Normally आपने लोगों ने देखा होगा कि अगर आप 1-2 महीने तक कोई स्पोर्ट्स वगैरह ना खेलें, फिर अचानक से आपके फ्रेंड्स वगैरह बुलाते हैं, आप शाम को जानते जाते हैं 3-4 घंटे आपने जम के खेला कूदा, मस्ती मारी अपने फ्रेंड लोगों के साथ में, एंड नेक्स्ट डे व्हेन यू आर ट्राइंग टू गेट अप, आपकी बॉडी मतलब एकदम अकड़ जाती है, लाइक यू हैव मस्कुलर क्रैम्प्स, आपकी मतलब मसल्स अकड़ जाती हैं, आप हाथ पैर हिला नहीं पाते हैं, राइट। और 4-5 दिन तक ऐसा रहता है। तो उस टाइम होता क्या है, बेसिकली जब आप कोई फिजिकल वर्क बहुत ज़्यादा कर रहे होते हैं, राइट? तो होता क्या है, आपके मसल सेल्स को एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट होती है, तो इतनी सफिशिएंट मात्रा में ऑक्सीजन आपकी बॉडी में मिल नहीं पाती है, तो व्हाट हैपेंस, एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन स्टार्ट्स इन द मसल सेल्स ऑफ योर बॉडी। बट ह्यूमंस में एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन की कंडीशन अलग हो जाती है, क्योंकि उस टाइम पे क्या होता है, आपकी बॉडी में एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन तो हो रही है, बट इंस्टेड ऑफ क्या कहते हैं, आपका अल्कोहल की जगह हमारी बॉडी में बनती है लैक्टिक एसिड, और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड का प्रोडक्शन नहीं होता है। नॉर्मली एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन में कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड और अल्कोहल बनेगा, बट ह्यूमंस में जब एनारोबिक रेस्पिरेशन हो रही है तो खाली क्या बन रहा है, आपका लैक्टिक एसिड, और यही लैक्टिक एसिड आपके मसल सेल्स के बीच में जाके एक्यूमुलेट हो जाता है, एंड विच इज द रिस्पॉन्सिबल फैक्टर फॉर द क्रैम्प्स दैट यू पीपल वुड बी गेटिंग। ओके, ओके, राइट। और 2-4 दिन में ठीक इसलिए हो जाता है क्योंकि दिस लैक्टिक एसिड विल कम आउटसाइड योर बॉडी इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ईदर इन द फॉर्म ऑफ यूरिन और स्वेट, राइट? तो उसके बाद फिर से आप एकदम फिट एंड फाइन हो जाते हैं काम करने के लिए, right? So this was the respiration basically in humans. Now moving on to the topic that like, भाई इंसानों के बारे में पढ़ोगे, थोड़े और जानवरों के बारे में पढ़ लेते हैं आपके, राइट? तो बेसिकली वी विल बी स्टडिंग अबाउट द अदर organisms. So they basically they have like we have a proper respiratory system, जहाँ हमने कुछ 4-5 ऑर्गन्स देखे थे जो मिलके रेस्पिरेशन में काम कर रहे थे। तो ह्यूमंस में भी अलग अलग ऑर्गेनिजम्स में अगर हम बात करें तो उनमें भी कुछ अलग अलग फंडे होते हैं, तो उनके बारे में देखते हैं। फर्स्ट दे रखा है, देयर आर सेट ऑफ ऑर्गेनिजम्स लाइक विच ब्रीथ थ्रू देयर स्किन, बेसिकली डिफ्यूजन डायरेक्टली होता है, एंड दोज ऑर्गेनिजम्स आर लाइक योर अर्थवॉर्म, or you can say your amoeba, euglena, paramecium. These are the organisms directly, right? अब इनमें होता क्या कुछ नहीं है, like if I'm talking about earthworm, which is most commonly asked to you people, right? Earthworm देखा है आपने, केचुआ सा होता है, right? There's a network of vessels which are carrying blood in their body. So basically specifically telling about the portion which are having capillaries in them, पतली वाली ट्यूब जो होती हैं आपकी, तो ऑक्सीजन की का डिफ्यूजन क्या होता है डायरेक्टली, अगर इफ आई एम टेलिंग दिस इज माय अर्थवर्म, राइट? ऑक्सीजन फ्रॉम द सराउंडिंग विल डायरेक्टली go through the skin and will directly get into the क्या कहते हैं, capillaries of the earthworm. Then their time after that it will be circulated in their body, and after circulation wherever it is being required, छोटे मोटे ऑर्गन जहाँ पे भी होंगे, respiration will be being carrying out and CO2 will be coming inside the capillaries, and after that जब CO2 की मात्रा बॉडी में ज़्यादा बढ़ जाएगी, CO2 will again come outside from their body, or you can say from capillaries to the surrounding. So this is the respiration through skin, directly through the skin, the exchange of gases is being happening, right? And we have a very beautiful word for that, that is your cutaneous respiration. Cutaneous respiration is there, right? So basically amoeba, sorry, so earthworm is having your cutaneous type of respiration, right? Next is your insects, right? They have some other funda, right? उनके बारे में देखते हैं। नॉर्मली इफ यू लुक एट एनी कॉकरोच और अपना एक ग्रास होपर, राम जी का घोड़ा जिसे हम लोग बोलते हैं, ये कीड़े ऐसे होते हैं जिनको शांति प्रिय होते नहीं है, मतलब एक जगह चुपचाप बैठते नहीं है, आप लोगों की तरह इधर से उधर उधर से इधर भागते रहते हैं। तो इसका मतलब क्या है भाई, इनके बॉडी में एनर्जी काफ़ी ज़्यादा है, एनर्जी ज़्यादा है तभी तो ये इधर से उधर भागते रहते हैं, सिंपल सी बात है। अब अच्छा, अब एनर्जी ज़्यादा हो रही है तो इसका मतलब क्या है कि भाई ऑक्सीजन ज़्यादा मात्रा में ले रहे होंगे ये लोग, राइट? तभी तो रेस्पिरेशन हो रही है, राइट? रेस्पिरेशन हो रही होगी, ऑक्सीजन अच्छा खासा आ रहा होगा तभी रेस्पिरेशन हो रही होगी, रेस्पिरेशन हो रहा होगा तभी एनर्जी बन रही होगी, एनर्जी बन रही होगी तभी ये लोग इतना उधर उधर फुदकते रहते हैं। तो आप जानते हैं कि भाई ऑक्सीजन की रिक्वायरमेंट या फिर एनर्जी की रिक्वायरमेंट ज़्यादा है, तो होता क्या है, इन इंसेक्ट्स देर इज अ प्रॉपर नेटवर्क ऑफ ट्यूब्स, एक नेटवर्क होता है पूरी बॉडी में जो ट्यूब में फैला रहता है। इफ आई एम टेलिंग दिस कॉकरोच है, राइट? समझ जाओ, कॉकरोच का सिर है, पैर है आपका, तो राइट, पूरी बॉडी में एक नेटवर्क फैला होता है। इस नेटवर्क को हम लोग बोलते हैं ट्रेकियल सिस्टम ऑफ नेटवर्क, which is only denoted for the purpose of carrying gases throughout their body, right? And in the outside portion, if I'm telling this is cockroach, right? तो इस ट्रेकियल नेटवर्क ऑफ सिस्टम की कुछ ओपनिंग्स होती हैं जहाँ से आपकी हवा एंटर करती है या फिर बाहर निकलती है, एंड दोज पोर्शंस आर कॉल्ड एज योर स्पाइरेकल्स, and spiracles and tracheal network together is called as the respiratory unit of these insects, right? Okay, now moving on to the respiration through gills. Okay, अभी बचपन से बताया जा रहा है आपको कि यार रेस्पिरेशन जो मछलियां होती हैं वो पानी के अंदर सांस ले पाती हैं क्योंकि उनके पास क्या होता है, उनके पास गिल्स होते हैं, राइट? अब थोड़ा सा उसको डेप्थ में देखते हैं। गिल्स बेसिकली होते क्या हैं आपके? गिल्स आर नथिंग बट ऑर्गन विच इज, बोल तो रहे हैं कि रेस्पिरेशन के लिए रिक्वायरमेंट होता है, बट इफ यू गो माइक्रोस्कोपिकली यू लुक एट द लुक एट द डायग्राम ऑफ गिल्स, राइट? दोज आर बेसिकली द नेटवर्क ऑफ कैपिलरीज। वो खाली होता क्या है, उसके अंदर खाली कैपिलरीज का ही नेटवर्क होता है, राइट? एंड गिल्स को आपने कई बार देखा होगा कि फिश के, अगर आप बात कर रहे हैं फिश का जो माउथ होता है, माउथ के बाद में अगर हम बात करना चाह रहे हैं फिश का माउथ है, तो उसके बक्कल कैविटी के दोनों साइड में, सो इफ आई एम जस्ट अ फिश, दिस इज माई माउथ, सो बक्कल, सो दिस गिल्स विल बी समवेयर हियर, right? And in there are two types of fishes basically. One are bony fishes, one other are your cartilaginous fishes. So this gills are basically covered by an opening that is called as operculum. तो ये cartilaginous fishes में होता है. And if I'm talking about your bony fishes which are not at your level, they have gill slits. अभी सिंपल के लेवल पे बता देते हैं कि आपने कभी शार्क्स को देखा होगा. शार्क्स वगैरह में ना उनकी अलग अलग सी लाइनिंग बाहर से दिखाई देती है, गिल्स के बीच में ऑप्शन होते हैं, तो उसे हम गिल स्लिट बोलते हैं. और जो नॉर्मली आपने एक्वेरियम के अंदर फिशेस देख रखी होंगी, तो उनमें आपने देखा होगा कि उनकी गिल्स ना एक पोर्शन से ऐसे रहते हैं गिल्स. अगर आप सामने देखें तो वो खुलता रहता है, ढकता रहता है, खुलता रहता है, ढकता रहता है, राइट. उसे हम लोग क्या बोलते हैं? ओपरक्यूलम बोलते हैं. अब कई एक बार रेस्पिरेशन होता कैसे इसमें आप समझते हैं, राइट. सो इफ आई एम अ फिश, आई डायरेक्टली टेक द वाटर फ्रॉम माई माउथ. माउथ से वाटर लूंगा मैं, राइट. अब ये माउथ कहाँ पहुंचेगा? डायरेक्टली पहुंचेगा मेरे गिल्स के पास में, राइट. देयर अगेन डिफ्यूजन विल हैपन फ्रॉम वाटर टू द कैपिलरीज ऑफ गिल्स, राइट. तो ऑक्सीजन कहाँ चला जाएगा? कैपिलरीज के अंदर. और रेस्पिरेशन के बाद कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड उस वापस उस पानी के अंदर आ जाएगा. तो अब देखिए पानी के अंदर क्या हुआ. पानी के अंदर से ही हमने मछली अपना ऑक्सीजन को अब्जॉर्ब कर रही है, और क्या कर रही है? अपनी बॉडी में प्रोड्यूस कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को उसी पानी में छोड़ रही है. और वो पानी कहाँ कर रहा है? ओपरक्यूलम के रास्ते बाहर आ जा रहा है. यानी कि माउथ से वाटर गया, तो उस वाटर के अंदर थोड़ा बहुत ऑक्सीजन था, उसका डिफ्यूजन हो गया ब्लड कैपिलरीज में. और क्या हुआ? कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड जो ब्लड में था, कैपिलरीज में था, वो कहाँ पहुंच गया? वाटर में. एंड दिस वाटर हैज कम आउटसाइड. दिस इज द रेस्पिरेशन थ्रू gills, right. Next we have your respiration through lungs. So as far as humans are concerned, we know that lungs are there, right? Okay. Now lungs are something which are found in many type of animals. Like for example birds are there. Like birds के अंदर अलग अलग फंडे होते हैं, आप लोगों ने पढ़ रखा है लास्ट ईयर भी, कि birds की जो bones होती हैं basically they are hollow, right? Hollow actually, just to reduce the mass of themselves, their body, so that they can easily fur 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 fly, right. Similarly they have lungs, and next to their lungs they have हल्का सा छोटा छोटा बलून जैसा स्ट्रक्चर जिनको हम बोलते हैं एयर सैक्स, which is basically एक just to provide them buoyancy while they are carrying where they are doing the fly वाला काम जो उड़ने वाला काम कर रहे हैं अपना, राइट. अच्छा, अब ये एक वर्ड देके रखा हुआ है आपके बुक में, मैमल्स, राइट. मैमल्स आर अगेन अ कैटेगरी ऑफ एनिमल्स विच यू कैन से लाइक एनी ऑर्गेनिज्म इज अ मैमल, जो कि अगर आप शुरुआत में जब उनके जो बच्चे होते हैं मैमल्स के, जो अगर वो अपनी मदर पे डिपेंड करते हैं फॉर मिल्क फीडिंग एंड ऑल, like they are specially basically they are type of organisms in which when an organism is at a younger age or very child wala stage, that time they'll feed on their mother's milk. For example, humans are mammals, cows are mammals. बच्चे दूध पीते हैं, पीते हैं अपनी मम्मी का. गोट, शीप, कैमल, राइट, दे ऑल आर कमिंग अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ mammals. Even for example bats, chamgadar, they are also mammals, right. So what we have actually, we have proper lungs for respiration, कोई दिक्कत नहीं आती आपकी, right. Next we have amphibians, right. Amphibians are the organisms which basically which can live uh, और which have a habitat which is having mostly watery वाला content, जो पानी के आसपास वाले एरिया में मिलेंगे, right. They can live inside the water or on the land also, are called as एम्फीबियंस बेसिकली. तो राइट, अब एम्फीबियंस के बारे में क्वेश्चन जो पूछते हैं आप लोगों से, वही अच्छा रहता है कि यार एम्फीबियंस में रेस्पिरेशन करने के तरीके क्या होते हैं. बेसिकली दे हैव टू टाइप्स ऑफ रेस्पिरेशन. वन इज योर क्यूटेनियस एंड अदर वन इज योर पल्मोनरी. Basically when the respiration is being carried out with the help of lungs actually, so that time we have the word, we call it as pulmonary respiration. So आपने कई बार देखा होगा फ्रॉग वगैरह को, या फिर फ्रॉग हो गया, टोड्स वगैरह हो गया, सैलामेंडर, राइट. दे आर कमिंग अंडर द कैटेगरी ऑफ एम्फीबियंस. दे हैव ए वेरी मॉइस्ट और चिपचिपी गिलगिली स्किन होती है, राइट. सो बेसिकली द दिस थिंग दैट द स्किन के थ्रू रेस्पिरेशन जो होता है वो होता है उनकी बॉडी में. बट कब होता है? ड्यूरिंग द टाइम ऑफ हाइबरनेशन. हाइबरनेशन इज ऑल्सो कॉल्ड एज विंटर स्लीप, व्हेन organisms go deep inside the soil. Okay, right, that time they'll be breathing in the oxygen which is present in between, breathing the air which will be present in between the soil particles. So that time cutaneous respiration occurs, and when they are coming on the land surface, that time they have proper lungs wala funda, राइट. तो दोनों तरह की रेस्पिरेशन हो जाती है. नाउ there comes a stage of, if we are specifically talking about frog, right. So you know that frogs lay their eggs inside the water, and there is a complete development, basically metamorphosis वाला stage आता है, आप लोगों ने लास्ट ईयर पढ़ भी रखा होगा. there comes a tadpole वाला stage during the development of a frog from an egg to a पूरा बड़े वाला adult frog, right. tadpole वाला stage होता है, right. and during the stage of tadpole they have gills. राइट तो उस टाइम ये गिल से भी रेस्पिरेशन कर सकते हैं। बट कभी आपसे कोई जनरली पूछे कि एम्फीबियन में कितने होते हैं भाई मोड्स ऑफ रेस्पिरेशन, देयर आर टू टाइप्स, फर्स्ट इज योर pulmonary, second is your cutaneous. But if someone is asking you like normally in frogs, right, how many types of respiration can be found, तो आंसर बोलेंगे तीन, क्योंकि टैडपोल वाला स्टेज खाली फ्रॉग के अंदर भी होता है, बाकी कुछ कुछ ऑर्गेनिजम्स के अंदर भी होता है, बाकी एम्फीबियंस के अंदर मस्ट कंडीशन नहीं है ये आपकी। नाउ कम्स द रेस्पिरेशन इन प्लांट्स। भाई जानवरों के बारे में पढ़ लिया, प्लांट्स के बारे में ना पढ़ेंगे तो ये भी काम गलत हो जाएगा आपका। राइट अब देखिए सिंपल सी बात है, प्लांट्स के बारे में हम लोगों ने बहुत चीज़ें पढ़ रखी हैं यार, कि बार बार हमेशा एक ही चीज़ पढ़ रखी है अभी तक, कि कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड लेते हैं, ऑक्सीजन देते हैं, कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड लेते हैं, ऑक्सीजन देते हैं, बस खाना बनाते रहते हैं। कि खाना बनाना उनका काम है क्या? वो खाना जो बना रहे हैं उस खाने से एनर्जी भी तो लेंगे, उस खाने से एनर्जी लेने के लिए क्या करेंगे बेटा? दे विल कैरी आउट रेस्पिरेशन, तो सेम फंडा विल हैपन। सेम फंडा मतलब क्या है जो ह्यूमंस में हो रहा था, कि ऑक्सीजन को लेंगे और कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड को रिलीज करेंगे, राइट? तो प्लांट्स इट्स नॉट लाइक प्लांट्स विल ऑलवेज टेक कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड एंड विल गिव आउट ऑक्सीजन। भाई जो खाना बनाया है उस खाने से एनर्जी भी तो निकालनी पड़ेगी, उस खाने से एनर्जी निकालने वाले काम कैसे करेंगे आप? रेस्पिरेशन की हेल्प से करेंगे, राइट? तो एंड दैट फॉर दैट विल हैव योर respiration wala funda. And normally we have seen on the normally on the 90% plants, on the lower side of the leaf there are minute openings which are called as stomata, right? Stomata are present, which are the minute holes like structure through which gases will come inside or go outside, right? So stomata are the site through which gases might come and go outside. And there is one more word that is given, right, lenticels in your book, right? So basically if I'm considering a very well developed tree, बहुत बड़ा पेड़ है आपका, तो उसकी बार्क होगी यानी कि पेड़ की छाल होगी, तो राइट देर आर माइन्यूट ओपनिंग्स विच आर कॉल्ड एज लेंटिसेल्स थ्रू विच गैसेस एक्सचेंज ऑकर्स, राइट? ऐसा तो होगा नहीं कि खाली बस लीव्स ही काम कर रही है रेस्पिरेशन वाला, इट इज ऑल्सो डन विद द हेल्प ऑफ सम ओपनिंग्स विच आर प्रेजेंट ऑन द बार्क, पेड़ की छाल के बीच में, एंड दीज आर कॉल्ड एज लेंटिसेल्स, राइट? नाउ one more line that is given in a book is like farmers turn the soil and make it loose so that the roots can easily penetrate deep and take in oxygen present in the soil particles by diffusion. कई बार आप लोगों ने अपने पेरेंट्स से पूछा होगा कि जो गार्डनिंग करते हैं, फिर जो फार्मर फैमिली से आते हैं, कि वो खेत में नलाई करते हैं। नलाई मतलब एक फावड़ा लेके ना, जे विल जहाँ पे प्लांट की रूट्स जा रही होंगी ना उसके आसपास से मिट्टी को खो देते हैं। एंड द रीजन फॉर डूइंग इज दैट वेरी सिंपल, ताकि लूज एयर कैसी हो जाए आपकी, सॉइल कैसी हो जाए आपकी लूज, सॉइल आपकी कॉम्पैक्टली पैक्ड रहेगी, चिपकी चिपकी। जब आप उसमें एक फावड़ा वगैरह मारेंगे और यू डिगिंग इट अप, तो पेड़ पे नहीं, पेड़ के आसपास में आपको ये काम करना है, तो उस टाइम होगा कि आपकी सॉइल के पार्टिकल्स काफ़ी लूज हो जाएंगे, एंड डेफिनेटली सम एयर माइट गेट ट्रैप्ड इन बिटवीन द सॉइल पार्टिकल्स। और दो फायदे हैं, एक तो रूट आपकी नीचे काफ़ी चली जाएंगी अगर आप मिट्टी को आप हल्का कर देंगे, एंड द रेस्पिरेशन कैन बी कैरिड आउट विद द हेल्प ऑफ रूट्स थ्रू द एयर विच इज being trapped between the particles of soil, right? So this was your chapter, and see you next time, guys. Bye.